For anyone who wants to be a priest, a seminarian who is seriously thinking about being a priest, and especially in the United States, I think the importance of learning Spanish, first of all, is one of the fundamental reasons, primary motivations here for coming here for this program.
We have a program here for seminarians and priests to learn Spanish for their ministries in the United States with Spanish-speaking people.
The classes are amazing. We have obviously 3 hours every morning to study Spanish in the class. We're taught by some amazing professors, amazing teachers. They know what they're doing, and they're able to give us some insights, especially not just into Spanish in general, but also the culture, and also some pastoral insights, the view from the perspective from the faithful.
So we have class basically every morning, Monday through Saturday. And we talk Spanish all morning, and it's difficult because you're trying to think in a totally different language.
You have mass every day. You're able to pray. I mean, you have meditation time. You're also with your confreres too, so you can build each other up while you're suffering together or learning something together.
The fact that we're encouraged to speak Spanish all the time here in the house helps a lot too. It really does.
The point of learning Spanish, it's been very effective because in this program we're required to speak Spanish all day, every day.
And one thing about learning a foreign language is you really need to go to the country where the language is spoken.
It's just been to have an environment where you can come into and learn the language and then also learn the culture a lot too. We're able to see a lot of things.
The classes have been very, very fascinating, but I think the best experience I've had was probably visiting an orphanage. Every week we go out for apostolate and do some kind of work in the community, and my favorite one was we went to visit an orphanage in downtown Guadalajara with little girls, maybe about 8 to 18, and to see the joy in their faces when we visited them was just, it was priceless.
What I like most about Mexico is just to see that the faith in many ways is still very strong here.
Well, I've enjoyed every experience that I've had here, whether it's going to the hospitals to see the sick, the infirm, whether it's to visit the orphanage, to just to be with the faithful in the parish.
As a priest, as somebody who's to bring Christ and His sacraments to the faithful, we need to be able to reach out to people and to very much go after them. And a lot of Mexicans in the States don't speak English, or they at least are part of a Mexican community. They don't have a lot of contact with English speakers. And as a priest, we need to be able to reach out to those people with as much comfort and ease as to English speakers, to really evangelize them, to be, missionaries in our own country.
Es importante porque hay mucha gente ahí en Estados Unidos que hablan español, y si yo no hablo español, yo solamente tengo un pierna como un sacerdote.
We've learned besides the Spanish language, we've learned a lot of the history and the culture of Mexico.
We've had a chance to do a lot of traveling around Mexico and different apostolic experiences and also tourist experiences.
Cuando un sacerdote puede hablar en mi idioma, es más fácil para vivir la fe.
It's really been inspiring to see, their devotion in many cases, in the places that we've gone. Not only do you get an opportunity to learn the language, learn culture, but you also get the opportunity to practice the ministry that you'll probably be doing.
There's a lot of Mexicans who come to the U.S. I've spoken to people there, and also Mexicans here who have visited there, who have families there. They say one of the problems is that there's not a community of Catholics who speak Spanish. There's a lot of communities of Protestants or of Jehovah's Witnesses or of Mormons who are very open, they're very proactive in forming good community life. And that's something that's very important to Mexicans. That's something I've learned here. The family life, the community life, the faith life, aside from just the sacraments, they need a lot more support. And I think that if our parishes lack that, whether it be diocesan or religious communities or in any city, in any place, we need to be equipped to be true missionaries to those people and to truly welcome them and to help them maintain the faith in an environment that's comfortable for them and helps them to associate their life, their daily life, their community with the faith.
I think the best part of the whole experience is the people in Guadalajara. They're so good, so kind, so inviting. When they say, my house is your house, mi casa es su casa, they mean it.
The experience in the house is very similar to Seminary. It's a religious house, and there's an order for prayer, an order for classes and for study. We're not only in class, but we also take our instructions to the streets.
Certainly the primary focus is to learn the language, but to learn it in the context of the church, in the context of Catholic culture, in the context of Catholicism as is found here in Mexico and in the Spanish-speaking world.
During our stay here, we've also gotten to meet a number of other seminarians from different seminaries. So it's, the Institute is a great opportunity to meet new people.
After 4 weeks of becoming more familiar with the language, we were able to travel to different cities where we had the opportunity to talk with different people and learn more about the history, the culture of Mexico, and that was a really great experience.
To learn the language, learn culture, but you also get the opportunity to practice and also to practice the ministry that you'll probably be doing as a priest. Like visiting hospitals, visiting the sick, visiting orphanages, teaching. So it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone, as we say.
In all of our apostolates, there's such a need for priests who speak Spanish, hear confessions in Spanish, give homilies in Spanish.
The city near where I live in Allentown, Pennsylvania, the Hispanic population I think is at least 40%. And so a priest obviously working there could almost double his effectiveness if you speaking Spanish.
The St. Junipero Institute here has really exceeded my expectations. It's actually perfectly tailored for any seminarian.
So the goal here is not just to make us Spanish speakers, but to make us Spanish-speaking priests and priests who are capable of administering to the pastoral needs of Spanish speakers.
To our Catholic, Catholic means universal, and that includes all the other places in the world, including here in Mexico. And that really reflects our Catholicity, to see our different families in the church and see how we're all one, but at the very same time a little different. And I think as a priest, we have to be everything to all people. This experience really helps with that.